Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late May 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for our good Virgo friends in late May 2025? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo. Late May 2025. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick for our friends, please. And yes, I'm still using my Alice in Wonderland Oracle. Maybe I'll switch it out soon enough. You know, especially some of you Virgos aren't huge fans of it, but I think it's cool. Okay, nonsense is the card you pull. This is the first time I'm getting this for any zodiac sign. And again, the energy to me just feels like very strict in its ways about something. Okay, like this is very much a no nonsense type of energy. When I see this card, you see that energy that it's carrying. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So yeah, very important with this deck to just go intuitively. And of course, when I see something like nonsense, maybe you're dealing with something that you think is a little nonsensical. Maybe you feel like someone's acting in a nonsensical type of way. But initially, to me, this feels very Queen of Swords-esque, right? Well, we have that queen right there. It just feels very firm, very serious, very straightforward. So again, whether this is an energy you're stepping into, looking at something in a logical, truthful type of way, sharp analysis, a lot of strategy, maybe it's someone you're dealing with. Now, that's usually a good energy. A no-nonsense approach is usually nice, but it could go a little too far sometimes. So again, I'm not saying it's you. It could be someone else where they might be acting cold. They might seem a little detached. They might seem as if they don't care when this card is here. But again, there's really good things with this card because it's like realistic, logical, and to the point. So this is an energy I feel like could serve you and could be very like utilized with whatever it is you're dealing with. So we're just going to put her down over there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here. See what we have for the Virgos in late May. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It had some big tower energy in there, and I'm pretty sure the tower itself did show up. To me, the reading was titled A Shocking Change, so whether it's just something that happens very rapidly, very quick, maybe some Virgos are still adjusting to a time period like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you had to have a tower this past week. Some of you might have, but to me, it just felt like an adjustment period, possibly, or just very rapid, very quick. Now, I always say towers aren't always bad. Sometimes they're good, so maybe some of you it was a change for the better. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my Virgo friends. What's happening in late May? Let's get these cards out. My Virgo collective. Yeah. All right, this is a little wound tight. So remember I was saying this felt Queen of Swordsy. Now we have the 9 of Swords. So like this air element is under the surface, and that's okay. But I mean, you see that person, they're a little wound tight. Someone could be having issues like sleeping, resting. Let's get a couple more. See what shows up. So what do we have here for Virgo? Please. What do we got for our good friends? Okay. Wheel of Fortune, yeah, there's the energy that changes, twists. This really fits the vibe with what we were seeing in last week's reading, especially with the Wheel of Fortune right there in the center. It's a good card. So it's an energy that does change. It's like flipping the switch. Let's see what shows up on the back end, though. What do we have here? Page of Pentacles. Yeah, the energy, it changes like really quick. The energy, like it's almost like an overnight type of change. Like this could be really good for some of you, hopefully. but the energy, it does like a 180. That's initially what I'm feeling. So it's reminiscent of what we saw last week. But I feel for a lot of you, this could be a really beneficial spread. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, elementally, we've got a few things here we're working with. We have some air energy. And elements are always important because it tells us how the energy is presenting itself. Air, it's usually very quick, very flighty. It's something that's not set in stone. It represents the realm of the mind, the thought process, but also communication. In the center, we have a very powerful major arcana in the Wheel of Fortune, which is like twisting, going quick, 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 quick. It's like cycling through. And then we have Earth on the back end, much more predictable. So we go from like a very wispy type of energy here in the front end. We go through this cycle, and then boom, the energy gets much more predictable and grounded on the back end. This is your comfort zone right here as Virgo. So it's going to be really intriguing to see how all of this plays off of each other. But I could easily see certain things like doing a 180. Like it feels almost overnight. So hopefully this is all a good thing. But let's start here. We're going to build it out piece by piece. Then we'll get into that really juicy detail. But position number one, we have the Nine of Swords. And I always say with this card, you don't really need to be an expert in tarot to understand what this one means. We see the individual, they're sitting up in bed, they're having a rough time sleeping. Looks like they're really stressing something out. Now, this could literally tie into sleep, how much rest you're getting. So for some of you, you might not be sleeping much. Again, that might just be how you're built. Maybe you're a little uncomfortable. Maybe there's something you're stressing about, or it could be somebody else. I always say watch out for insomnia, but also watch out for like funky dreams when the Nine of Swords is here. Now, this isn't all stress and nervousness and anxiety. There is a bright side to it, which I see in the form of energetic sensitivity. So when I see this, it's a very paranormal card. So especially next to a karmic card like the Wheel of Fortune, just know that you might just be hypersensitive to energy in this time more so than you normally are. Okay, so we're just going to have to see how this plays out. We see the pressure point. We see that little stressed out energy in the front, and that's okay. It's human. We all go through energies and times like that. Now, moving to the center, we got a little bit of a different energy coming through. So reminiscent of the Tower, this moves very quick. The Wheel of Fortune, lovely. I would say to me, this is one of the most beneficial cards. It reminds me of Jupiter energy. So when I see the Wheel of Fortune, it's my four-leaf clover of the tarot deck. It's a good charm. Lady Luck might be on your side here. So again, if we are seeing a cycle shift or a change, it could be for the better. Even if it doesn't feel like it right now, the end result could be very, very good, depending. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, yes, all the really great, beautiful Jupiter, expansive, protective energy is here, but there's a downside to it as well. It's just very rapid, right? Like, it's not like the World card where it's a cycle that moves like at a crawl. This is one that just moves quick, fast, unexpected, sudden, shocking, like we saw last week. So again, this could represent change. It's very karmic, so it could represent karmic situations, karmic cycles, which is an undertone I've been seeing for earth signs in recent weeks. So we'll want to look into this further and see what this twist is, see what this shift of energy is. Because as we move to the back, this energy feels softer to me, that's for sure. It feels like way more grounded than what we have on the front end. We got the Page of Pentacles, beautiful. That's one of your power cards. Now, I always say pages to me, they represent students learning new things, bringing in new information, but also communication. So we think of talks, conversations, messages, specifically with this one. Page of Pentacles, all about the written word. Now, there's downsides to this card as well. I mean, in a Virgo reading, the clarifier could just tell us something that's coming towards you or a way you might be feeling. But pages are a youthful type of vibe. Sometimes they're very unsure. So it's like uncharted territory, new territory. There could be certain things you're a little unsure about because the Page of Pentacles is by far, it is far from a guaranteed type of energy. So we really need to look into it further. But when we look at the whole ball of wax here on the top end, it seems like it could be really nice. Like when we go from Nine of Swords all the way over to this page, even though it happens quick, even though it's very sudden, I think it's going to be good. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Virgo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get it going here. Let's shuffle it up for my Virgo friends. What's happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Nine of Swords. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's see what the Nine of Swords has for you. What is this wound tight energy? From my good friends. Thank you. Yeah, it's like something really bothering someone and they really can't help it. Strength in reverse, to me, it's just like something that somebody, they just can't get it off their mind. It's like, I can't help it. It's like, I know I shouldn't dwell on this. I know I shouldn't think about this, but I just can't help it. That's kind of the energy it's presenting to me. Now, strength in reverse, maybe you're connected to a Leo. That's possible. But to me, when I see strength, I think of resistance, an energy that holds back. It's inner strength, so like love, care, tenderness, but it's restraint, right? Normally when I see strength, I think of somebody that is resisting something or attempting to do it. So when I see the Nine of Swords with strength in reverse, it's like, I can't help it. So again, we do have this really strong, anxious, nervous type of energy here up front. Not saying it's you, it could be someone you're connected to. They could just be extra wound tight in this time. If you're extra wound tight, maybe you need some sort of release valve for this type of energy. I know I say that like it's an easy thing to do, easier said than done. But yeah, to me, it's just really presenting itself in a, I just can't help it. Whether it's I can't help myself or I know I shouldn't dwell on something, it's just an energy that's there. Okay. And we're going to have to see if it persists, how it persists. All this energy up front just feels a little uncontrollable too. Okay. So we're just going to keep moving. I feel like that's a very simple message. It is what it is. For some of you, you might be dealing with situations where there's not much you could do about it. That could be potentially it. But let's see what's up with the wheel. Yeah, just very wound tight for some reason. Someone's in the feelers, that's for sure. But let's go in on the wheel. Let's see what that's doing. Really want to get over to the page as well. Okay. Yeah, just like I just mentioned it. So we have the Emperor in reverse underneath the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. I don't want to say that this is about acceptance. I mean, for some of you, it could be. But when I see the Emperor, if you're not tied to an Aries, this is a card. It's the King of Kings, right? He's the big boss type of energy. He's a shot caller. He has things under control, whether it's for positive or negative. So when I see the Emperor in reverse underneath the Wheel of Fortune, of course, I'm still seeing this sudden, surprising shift or twist in the energy. Of course, it could be a karmic cycle, but there's just something about it where it's like, okay, not much I could really do about it. So again, whether this is a situation where it's in the universe's hands or we have the rough energy, might not be much you could do, but same with the good energy. When I see the Emperor in reverse, it's like the universe will take the wheel here. So I would really like a lot of Virgos in this time to pay attention to signs, synchronicities, omens, and use your own inner discernment about it, right? Like, don't just go off things that you see, things that you look up in Google. When you see signs, when you get these big omens, you need to use your discernment. That's just how it's showing up to me. But yeah, with the wheel, Emperor in reverse, we still have this very sudden shift or twist type of energy where it's like, it's quick, it happens quick. We go from this hopefully to something more solid, and it's like, all right, well, I didn't really do nothing about it. The energy just does it on its own. That's the vibe. But let's see what's up with the Page of Pentacles. Hopefully we get a really good outcome here. And then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadows. So why is the Page of Pentacles here for my Virgo friends? Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, because this energy, it can't quite help something. This energy is just like, all right, it is what it is. There's something here that's like out of someone's hands. Thank you. Yeah, then the energy comes forth. So to me, it's like a pressure cooker here in the front. That's kind of how it's feeling. It's like pressure building, building, building. Whoop, we have that spin. I have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse underneath the Page of Pentacles. Like, yeah, I'm not going to wait anymore. So again, I feel for a lot of Virgos, this could be a talk, a surprising talk or message that comes out of nowhere. And even if it seems like it comes out of nowhere, there was a lot of pressure built up here in the front, because the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it's not waiting anymore. It's like, I waited long enough. So it's like we have this shift of energy. Like, again, so for some Virgos, it could be a change of heart with somebody. But when I see the Seven of Pentacles in reverse underneath this Page of Pentacles, to me, it's like, all right, now the energy comes forth. It kind of feels like a rocket. to me. I don't know why I'm seeing it that way, why that imagery is in my head, but it's like we have the build up, 3, 2, 1, blast off. It's like giving me that kind of vibe here. So again, whether it's a surprising talk or an explosive one, that's just how it's presenting to me, where it's like the pressure builds and then it comes through. I think that this is good. Okay. So if you have an energy that's like really pent up and built up right now, whatever it might be, whether it's like with a work situation, a personal relationship, I feel like you need to get that energy out somehow. Okay, because it will continue to plague. Or this would be the advice I would give to whoever this person is. Like they need some way to get this energy out. Like you can't contain it forever. Like you can't just pretend it's not there. You can't just contain it forever. The energy needs to come out at some point. And it does. From what I see, I think it does here on the back end. So yeah, watch out for these talks that come out of nowhere, the surprising or explosive ones. That can most definitely be the case. Just make sure they don't get out of hand. That's like the one advice I would give, especially with all this build up in the front. But let's go through and do a quick recap. And then we'll get into the shadow card. Yeah, and watch your patience levels in this time too. There could be someone or something that's like really testing your patience and determination. But if you kindly look in the box, we have the 9 of Swords with Strength in reverse. It's like, all right, well, I can't help it. It's just a very stressed, anxious type of energy where someone they're thinking about things, even if they know they shouldn't be thinking about it, like worst case scenarios and stuff like that. It's like, I just can't get it off my mind. It's giving me that type of vibe. Moving to the center, we still have an energy where it's like, all right, well, it's not like they really did anything about it. It's like the universe took the wheel. So again, we have like this sudden twist of energy or change where it just seems like it's overnight, where the energy builds, 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 and explodes through. And it's like, all right, well, you don't need to do nothing. They don't need to do nothing. Like the energy just builds itself up in one way or another. It's like the energy just naturally built to this point. Moving to the back end, we have the Page of Pentacles, the communicator, with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, yeah, I'm not waiting anymore. Got to say this, got to get this off my chest. So again, whether it's a surprising talk, unexpected, explosive, whatever label we want to put on it, to me, it's just like build, 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 and boom, it comes forth and it takes some action. And it kind of does it on its own. That's like the vibe it shows me. It's like it does it on its own. If there's something you're processing and you feel like you're trying to suppress or retain it, I think having a release valve of some sort could really assist you. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They can be a good thing too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got in the shadows for Virgo? Thank you. Quick. 2 of Pentacles. Usually this is very harmonious, fair, balanced, and it's kind of the antithesis of what we saw within the reading itself, right? Because we see these big extremes, these big swings, these big shifts. The 2 of Pentacles normally isn't really like that. Usually it's like harmonious, balanced. So for some of you, if we were to take this in a positive way, it could be Spirit saying like, don't worry, Virgo, everything will balance out, everything will be fine, or we'll come into a state of stasis. That's nice. But at the same time, the 2 of Pentacles in its shadow form could represent a lot of imbalance. Okay, could represent something that's way off and needs a lot of work. For another portion of you, the 2 of Pentacles could be very busy. So whether it's a lot on this person's mind, this person has a lot on their plate, the 2 of Pentacles could represent that. So I would just make sure you don't overload your proverbial plate in this time, whether it's mental, emotional, relationships, work, you name it. It's like, just don't pile too much on your plate there, Virgo. So we're going to leave it at that, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details. The May subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. You could go check out my digital calendar for availability. But for the May subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of the most beautiful new decks out there, the Stained Glass Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which one is your favorite? Not your sign. Which one do you work best with? Which flows with your energy? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.